Hello, and welcome to episode 11 of All Things EGOT. My name is Portia West.
And I'm Maury Ritchie. On today's show, music critic Ronnie MackRosen will make Grammy predictions for some of the major categories.
We'll also take a look at the 6 artists that have received all 4 major entertainment awards but are not officially EGOTers.
Should they be included, or is their omission valid?
They are living legends, Maury.
It's true. Well, we've got lots to cover, Portia. So let's begin with a look at the career of the 11th EGOTer, producer Scott Rudin.
Scott Rudin is all business. As a producer, his road to EGOT status has been exclusively behind the scenes. From Broadway to Hollywood, his choices have been very successful. In 1984, Rudin won the Emmy for Outstanding Children's Program for the documentary He Makes Me Feel Like Dancin', about ballet dancer Jacques D'Amboise. Rudin received his first of a record-breaking 15 Tony Awards in 1994 for Passion, the story of a soldier who falls in love with the ailing cousin of his superior. The one-act musical features music and lyrics by Stephen Sondheim. After producing over 50 films, Rudin's collaboration with the Coen brothers finally garnered him a Best Picture Oscar in 2007 for the crime thriller No Country for Old Men. In 2012, Rudin won the Grammy for Best Musical Theater Album, The Book of Mormon Original Broadway Cast Recording. Mr. Rudin continues to produce stories of various genres for the stage and film. He once said, "I love work. I love putting together a group of people who are all doing the same thing, the commonality of purpose." These details were obtained from wikipedia.org. For All Things EGOT, this is Cassidy Briggs.
Big thanks to our guest narrator, Cassidy Briggs. And if you'd like to be a guest narrator, email us at allthingsegot@gmail.com and type narrator in the subject line.
The Grammy nominations were announced on December 7th, and it looks like the ladies are back in the mix.
Yes, Maury, the Academy has increased the number of nominees from 5 to 8 in some categories, which could be why more women have made the cut. Cardi B, Lady Gaga, and many others are nominees this year. Will they split the vote, or will one of them rise to the top?
Well, we'll have to wait until February to find out. But here to make his predictions for some of the main categories is musician and music critic Ronnie MackRosen. Thanks for joining us, Ronnie.
Great to be here, Maury and Portia.
Let's start with the Record of the Year. The nominees for Record of the Year are I Like It, Cardi B, Bad Bunny, and J Balvin. The Joke, Brandi Carlile. This Is America, Childish Gambino. God's Plan, Drake. Shallow, Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. All the Stars, Kendrick Lamar and SZA. Rockstar, Post Malone featuring 21 Savage, and The Middle, Zedd, Maren Morris, and Gray.
So the Record of the Year, it tends to give the Grammys, it gives credence to the idea that the Grammys are somewhat of a popularity contest, because for this particular category, it is what is the biggest song of the year rather than what is the best song of the year. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to go with God's Plan by Drake. I don't think that anybody had a bigger year than Drake did this year. God's Plan was absolutely inescapable this year, and he's had the biggest, that was definitely the biggest song of all of these.
Next is the Album of the Year. The nominees for Album of the Year are Invasion of Privacy, Cardi B. By the Way, I Forgive You, Brandi Carlile. Scorpion, Drake. H.E.R., Beer Bongs and Bentleys, Post Malone. Dirty Computer, Janelle Monáe. Golden Hour, Casey Musgraves. And Black Panther, various artists.
I would love to be able to see it go to Casey Musgraves for Golden Hour. That is one of my favorite albums of the entire year, but I don't think they're going to go for it. I think it's probably going to end up being Cardi B's Invasion of Privacy. That album was it was way too big for them to look over that one.
Best New Artist is the next category. The nominees for Best New Artist are R&B duo, Chloe and Halle. Country singer, Luke Combs. Rock band, Greta Van Fleet. R&B singer, H.E.R. Pop dance artist, Dua Lipa. Country singer, Margot Price. Pop singer, BB Rexa. And R&B singer, Georgia Smith.
Best New Artist, I think it's between two of them. I think it's between Dua Lipa or Greta Van Fleet. Dua Lipa, her songs have been plastered all over the radio since last year, and I don't think that they're going anywhere anytime soon. But also, Greta Van Fleet is the biggest name in rock right now, and a lot of people are calling them rock savior. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but that's the reputation that they've been getting. So I think it might be Greta Van Fleet just because the industry absolutely adores them.
What about the Best Pop Duo or Group Performance, Ronnie? The nominees for Best Pop Duo Group Performance are Fall in Line, Christina Aguilera featuring Demi Lovato. Don't Go Breaking My Heart, Backstreet Boys. It's Wonderful, Tony Bennett and Diana Krall. Shallow, Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. Girls Like You, Maroon 5 featuring Cardi B. Say Something, Justin Timberlake featuring Chris Stapleton. And The Middle, Zedd, Maren Morris, and Gray.
This will go to Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. There is no doubt in my mind. I don't think that any of these songs could possibly match up with it. If I had to give one other option, it would maybe be The Middle by Zedd and Maren Morris and Gray, but there's no doubt in my mind. It's Shallow by Lady Gaga.
Next up, Best R&B Performance. Long As I Live, Toni Braxton. Summer, The Carters. Why, Oh Why, Layla Hathaway. Best Part, HER featuring Daniel Caesar. And First Began, PJ Morton.
This one is complicated because if I am going with what the audience wants and what I think the Grammys should do, I would go with Summer by the Carters. It's Jay-Z and Beyonce, two of the most powerful people of the last 2 decades. They put out a joint album and they put out a joint song, and it's amazing. But Jay-Z lost all 8 Grammys that he was nominated for last year. So if I was going by that, I might give it to HER just because they're nominated for Best New Artist and a bunch of other stuff. But I have to put my foot down. I want it to be Jay-Z and Beyonce at the Carters for Summer, and I think it's going to be.
Then there's Best Rap Performance. The nominees for Best Rap Performance are Be Careful, Cardi B. Nice for What, Drake. King's Dead, Kendrick Lamar, J-Rock, Future, and James Blake. Bubblin', Anderson .Paak. And Sicko Mode, Travis Scott, Drake, Big Hawk, and Sway Lee.
Nice for What is the best song that Drake has put out in a very, very long time. It might be the best song that he's put out, and I would like to see it win, but I would like to see King's Dead win more, and I think that it will win because the Academy loves Kendrick. They love him to death, as they should. They don't love him enough to give him Album of the Year, but they love him enough to give him all of the rap awards that he wants, and I think that that one's gonna win, which means Future's gonna have a Grammy, which I don't know how I feel about.
Best Rock Performance includes 1 posthumous nominee. The nominees for Best Rock Performance are 4 out of 5, Arctic Monkeys. When Bad Does Good, Chris Cornell. Made in America, The Fever 333. Highway Tune, Greta Van Fleet. And Uncomfortable by Hailstorm.
This one's interesting because this is the only category where I've actually seen 2 of these artists live this year. I've seen Fever 333 and Hailstorm live this year. I would love either of them to win. I think that both of their songs are great, but I think it is between Chris Cornell and Greta Van Fleet. I think they're probably going to end up giving it to Chris Cornell as a posthumous Grammy, and I think they should. Chris Cornell was a legend, and the world is better for him.
What about Best Country Solo Performance? The nominees for Best Country Solo Performance are Wouldn't It Be Great, Loretta Lynn. Mona Lisa's and Mad Hatters, Maren Morris. Butterflies, Casey Musgraves. Millionaire, Chris Stapleton. And Parallel Line, Keith Urban.
This is another one where I'm pulling so hard for Casey Musgraves. I want her to win so bad. Butterflies is such a beautiful song, but she's going up against a soon-to-be legend and an already a legend. Loretta Lynn is already a country legend, and Chris Stapleton is going to be. I know that for a fact. I think I'd give it to Chris Stapleton, probably. I think that's where they're going to go with it, but I would really love to see Casey pull it off.
And the final category, Song of the Year. The nominees for Song of the Year are All the Stars, Kendrick Lamar and SZA, Boo'd Up, Ella Mai, God's Plan, Drake, In My Blood, Shawn Mendes, The Joke, Brandi Carlile, The Middle, Zedd, Maren Morris and Gray, Shallow, Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, and This Is America, Childish Gambino.
I think that if the Grammys are going to do what they usually do and somewhat play it safe, I think they're probably going to go with In My Blood by Shawn Mendes. I don't hate Shawn Mendes like a lot of people seem to for some reason, but I definitely don't think he's the most interesting artist of the nominees, and I definitely don't think it's the most interesting song of the nominees. If I was in charge, I would absolutely choose This Is America by Childish Gambino. I don't think any song, not just as a song, like a single, but as a song as an experience, along with the music video, which completely dominated this year. I don't think any song really encapsulated 2018 as much as This Is America did.
Well, Ronnie, the Grammys will air on Sunday, February 10th, 2019. We look forward to having you back to recap the show and your predictions.
Thanks so much, and see you in the new year.
Thanks so much for having me.
Depending on where you look online, the head count of EGOTers might be 15 to 21.
That's because 6 performers have received non-competitive or lifetime achievements recognitions from one of the 4 respective entertainment academies. Either way, they've made amazing contributions to the arts. And as we near the end of our series, we didn't want to leave them out.
2 of the artists have been featured in past episodes. Quincy Jones has received the Emmy, 27 Grammys, and a Tony. His leadership in producing and arranging the We Are the World project was an iconic entertainment moment that was not forgotten by the Oscars. In 1994, Q received the Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award. It's been announced that a film version of The Color Purple musical is in development, so it's possible that Jones might have another shot at getting the Oscar and become an official EGOTer.
And in our last episode, we featured Harry Belafonte, who also received the Jean Hersholt Award in 2014 for his civil rights activism.
The list also includes Barbra Streisand. This living legend has 2 Oscars, 5 Emmys, and 10 Grammys. Streisand was nominated twice for the Tony, but never won. In 1970, she received a Star of the Decade non-competitive Tony Award, which was much deserved.
Absolutely. Then there's Liza Minnelli. She has won the Emmy, Oscar, and 3 competitive Tonys, but no official Grammy. In 1990, Minnelli received a Grammy Legend Award. When you think of projects like Cabaret and Liza with a Z, it seems incredible that she's never won a Grammy.
James Earl Jones has received 3 Emmys, 2 competitive Tonys, and the Grammy, but no Oscar. In 2011, Jones received an honorary award for his career in film. Jones was nominated only once for the film version of The Great White Hope, but his honorary award is for iconic performances including the voice of Darth Vader.
The last artist is composer and songwriter Alan Menken. He's won 8 Oscars, 11 Grammys, and a Tony. In 1990, Menken received a non-competitive Emmy for outstanding contribution to the success of the Academy's anti-drug special for children, Wonderful Ways to Say No, from the TV special Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue.
Wouldn't it be great if some of these artists would team up like the Jesus Christ Superstar trio, Legend, Rice, and Lloyd Webber and get their missing awards?
I love that idea, Portia.
Even without that final award, the contributions they've made are historic and inspiring.
We'd like to thank our guest narrator, Cassidy Briggs, and music critic, Ronnie MackRosen.
Next time, we'll review the Oscar nominees and get predictions from film critic Dave Bell.
Until then, Happy New Year, and thanks for watching.
Peace.